Extreme celebrity impersonators have always fascinated me as a clinical psychologist, so let's dive into the psychology of this Ariana Grande impersonator called Paige Niemann in Sloane's video.
Paige Niemann, the infamous Ariana Grande impersonator, had her TikTok account banned today.
The concerning thing is, this is her in 2024 with everything happening with Wicked and everything. This is Paige in 2024.
This girl created a following of over 10 million people just by copying Ariana's every move from like literally 2016 on.
Is there a diagnosis for this type of behavior?
Okay, this is interesting. So obviously I can jump in here, and I'm not diagnosing Paige here. I'm just speculating about potential diagnoses that fit with this presentation. So the first thing that comes to my mind is a personality disorder such as borderline personality disorder or histrionic personality disorder, which belong to the same family of disorders, the cluster B personality disorders. And how that looks like, especially for persons with BPD, is that they will change their identity a lot, or that they can take on the identity of someone else because they themselves don't know what their own is. And for histrionic personality disorder, there's more of an emphasis on getting attention from sexuality. Another thing that comes to my mind is obsessive compulsive disorder, where the obsession would be with Ariana Grande and the compulsion would be to enact her personality or take on her traits. And the last one that comes to mind is delusional disorder, in which a person could go one of two routes that I could see here. The first one could be that they truly believe that they are Ariana Grande, and the second route would be that they feel like they are destined to replace Ariana, so they will try to act like her to, in a way, take over that spot that they have.
Imagine someone stalking you and impersonating you so much that you are scared. Well, I would be scared if I was Ariana Grande, because Paige Niemann has built a following off of mocking Ariana. She's made fun of her wedding photos, became Galinda for Wicked, and even created adult content acting like Ariana.
Okay, so a lot of important things have already been said in this clip. From a clinical perspective, of course, I have a lot of concerns when I see someone impersonating someone else to this extent. And the other thing being mentioned here is that Paige has apparently created adult content. And I think that definitely goes into the whole conversation about ethics and morals. And I see a lot of concerns with that, because a person that is as clearly impersonating Ariana as Paige is, I think it is incredibly morally wrong to do that kind of content, because people that are fetishizing Ariana or that want to see Ariana sexually would then go to Paige's content to basically imagine that being Ariana. So yeah, I think we can debate about if impersonation is okay, if people should be able to do it or not. But I think doing adult content with the pretense that it is Ariana Grande or someone impersonating her, I think that definitely crosses a line.
This woman is sick, and that's why she's been banned from all social media. So let's get into it. Now, we have covered plenty of celebrity stalkers on my channel before, but this case is much different. Now, I'm not going to deny that there are some stalkerish tendencies here, but when it comes to Paige Niemann, it seems like she wants to become Ariana Grande. I'm sure you guys have seen Paige before on social media because she has built a following looking like Ariana Grande throughout the years. Seems like anytime Ariana Grande changes her look a little bit, Paige follows.
So the point of Paige changing her looks whenever Ariana is changing her looks could definitely support the hypothesis that she is wanting to be Ariana Grande, because it seems like she's taking on all the mannerisms, all the stylistic choices, and she's really going with Ariana's trends as well, which is a real extreme dedication, obviously, to the impersonation. And it does raise questions for me if there are indeed delusions going on where she thinks that she should replace Ariana or that she is Ariana.
This has upset a lot of people, including, it seems, Ariana herself. Despite this, Paige continues, and it's now led her to being banned from social media for impersonation. Paige has faced repeated criticism from fans for mimicking Ariana's signature style, including her high ponytail, makeup, and fashion choices. And I just know Ariana Grande fans all around were so happy to see Paige banned. And yes, this is Paige right here. She even thinned herself out and whitened her skin to look like Ariana.
I do want to talk a little bit about the ban from social media. So on one hand, I think I can see the positives by doing that, which is to take a person off of the platforms and really give them an opportunity to look at themselves and what might be going on to potentially get help. On the other hand, that obviously doesn't tackle the root issue, because to me, this kind of behavior does indicate that most likely she didn't have a healthy development. that most likely she might have had some attachment problems, maybe with her primary caregivers, or some trauma maybe in her past. And I'm only speculating, I'm not saying that this is the case, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was any of that, especially when it goes into personality disorder territory, where a person couldn't really get that stable connection and validation from their attachment figure that they really needed when they were younger. And when that doesn't happen, then a child will resort to other means of getting attention or admiration, such as impersonating other people or taking on other people's traits that they feel like will ensure that they will get attention.
As soon as the news broke about Paige being banned from all platforms, fans took to social media to share their responses. And let's talk about what the people are saying. Quote, maybe she could find her own identity apart from pretending to be Ariana. Another person adds, what a relief. She's so creepy. Last time I saw her account, she was posting her BF and responding to a comment about how he only loves her for looking like Ariana. Another person adds, that's probably a good thing. When I first saw her, I very much thought that she was Ariana Grande, so she could have done anything to cause confusion or drama in her life. Some people are saying she had an OF too.
Wow, that point of her boyfriend only being together with her because she looks like Ariana Grande. In that case, I find that incredibly alarming and also irresponsible, because that would obviously only reinforce a person doing what they're doing, which is the impersonation, which means that they're going further and further away from their actual self or their core self, if she even has any idea of what that looks like, because I can imagine that at this point, the whole Ariana Grande impersonation has just taken over so much, or she is just living so much in a delusion, if that is the case, that she doesn't even know her own needs, her own likes, her own interests, and her own personality anymore.
Sued her with a quickness. We will get into her OF situation where she looked like Ariana and created adult content, which I think is just way too far. This person added, why is she being posted like she's a celebrity? Another person added her OF next, please. So maybe it's currently active and she's making money as an Ariana lookalike.
I do also think that it raises questions about our society in general, right? That we reinforce that type of behavior by giving it more attention, because I think it in a way takes away from the seriousness of the issue. And I'm not saying that those people don't deserve to get attention. I truly wholeheartedly believe that she deserves all the validation and all the connection that she is deeply longing for. But this is obviously a maladaptive way to get that, right? By acting like someone else. It doesn't really get to the core issue, which is that she might be struggling with her self-worth, that she might not even know who she really is. But on the other hand, it obviously also seems like she is making use and maybe also misusing her likeness to Ariana by creating this adult content, which I think definitely crosses a line, because without the consent of Ariana Grande, you could see that as exploitative and potentially abusive. Yeah.
Another person writes, the fact that she was making OF content cosplaying as Ariana is disturbing. And I feel like Ariana has every right to be upset by someone doing this. I mean, where do you draw the line from like a lookalike to someone who is truly impersonating and profiting off of? I mean, because we see lookalikes all the time and they make a living off of it. So it makes me question, like, is this person doing too? I mean, clearly the OF is way too much. The adult content as Ariana, but I mean, lookalikes are a thing. It's kind of weird we've created space for them.
I think Sloan is raising a really good point here. Where is it that we draw the line, right? Because indeed, Paige Niemann is not the only impersonator out there, and there are a lot of celebrity lookalikes. And I think that to a certain extent, it also doesn't feel wrong to me because people can't avoid just looking like someone. I personally think what we really have to look at is how are they profiting off of the impersonation, and how much credit are they giving the person that they are impersonating? How clear are they making it that they are not that person? Within those bounds, I can see it being okay engaging in those ways. But I think we really have to look at a person's mental health as well. How much is it that they actually believe that they're that person, or do they see themselves still as a separate individual with their own interests, their own likes? From what we have seen here, it does to me really look like Paige Niemann is fully wanting to embody Ariana. I don't see many situations in which she's showing her own personality, her own separate likes and interests. It really looks like she's just tapping into the Ariana Grande character.
But it's not that she just looks like her. She makes herself look like Ariana. This person tweeted, we won. Another person writes, what did she do? Is she just hated because she looks like Ariana? Another person added, how did she have 10 million followers? Another person added, it took long enough. To take someone off the internet for impersonation is a big step. It makes me assume the person who's being impersonated did something, send a letter, something to go and push the company to go and do this. I don't think enough fans reported the account because clearly she is her own person. She is just truly impersonating someone. So I don't know the technicalities of this, but I do feel a sense of justice for Ariana.
That's actually a really good point that is being raised, and I'm not 100% sure on this either, but since it seems like Paige has been removed off of all social media platforms, it really seems like it was a bigger legislative action that was being taken.
Hey guys, it's Lena from the future here. So while I was editing the video, I actually saw that her Instagram profile was still active, so she has not been banned off of all social media platforms, but I couldn't find her TikTok profile and her OnlyFans profile. I'm not sure about the other ones, but it seems like it's been a specific decision made on specific platforms.
I think otherwise platforms themselves have their own rules by which they're enforcing certain bans or removals. Maybe I'm getting that wrong, but that is how it seems to me.
Paige Niemann, the infamous Ariana Grande impersonator, had her TikTok account banned today. And I know Arianators cheered everywhere because this girl has been on social media and created a following of over 10 million people just by copying Ariana's every move from like literally 2016 on, to the point where whenever Ariana has switched hair colors, switched styles, Paige has been right there with her. She even participated in, I think this was an Alexander Wang ad where they had lookalikes of celebrities that were popular on social media come and do a review of one of their bags. They had Paige, Ashley, who is a Taylor Swift impersonator, and a few other people. But she also has done some inappropriate stuff, participating on adult film websites, cosplaying as Ariana, which is just...
I'm not quite sure what to think about the brand using Paige to advertise their things. It does to me seem like they are avoiding spending a lot of money on getting that actual celebrity, but trying to find a cheaper option to get the same attention or attraction. And maybe it would get them even more than using the celebrity themselves, because it would raise a lot of different opinions, obviously, to use someone like Paige. So it gives me a bit of a bad feeling, if I'm honest.
Now, it really seems like this adult content is what took everything to the next level. And maybe if Ariana did step in, or Ariana's team, which I wouldn't be surprised, they were able to leverage this not safe for work content that Paige was creating, looking and acting as Ariana. In the world of questionable online decisions, Paige Niemann may have taken the crown. The infamous Ariana Grande impersonator, who has built her career off of mimicking the pop icon's every move, found herself in a situation for her OF account. Paige was reportedly cosplaying as Ariana while posing in not safe for work content on the platform. While dressed in Ariana Grande's high ponytail, Paige recreated her makeup and even mirrored her facial features, which was so on point for her social media and also for her OF content. While the account bore her real name, her uncanny resemblance to Ariana left fans accusing her of exploiting the singer's image for adult content. They hit it right on the nail, didn't they?
So although I do see a lot of the points that people are raising here, especially when we are going into the adult content territory, I do also just feel concerned for Paige that it came to this point. Because I think I've seen some previous videos of her when she was quite a bit younger and she was interviewed, and it doesn't seem to me like it was quite as extreme or quite as maladaptive at that point yet, and it just seems like it got worse and worse over time. Yeah, I do believe that she needs some serious help, really going back to the roots of these issues. It's not just a superficial issue. It seems like it goes into all of the areas of her life. I do definitely also feel for Ariana having to deal with this and for it feeling so intrusive that someone is doing that. Literally all the work that you're putting into yourself, into the work that you do, into your appearance, someone else is basically just appropriating it and getting attention for doing that. I can imagine that it feels really, really uncomfortable and creepy and intrusive again. So I feel for everyone involved in this situation. I do believe that some lines have been crossed.
Of cosplaying Ariana, and it's one of the most disrespectful things I've ever seen. In my opinion, this is too far, and it is disgusting, weird, and insanely disrespectful. Critics claimed it wasn't just weird, but outright dangerous. It could lead fans to blur the line between the real Ariana and Paige, because she really has taken a impersonation to the next level. It's really her own identity.
That's a really good point. And especially someone who has consumed Paige's adult content, I could see them just look at Ariana in a different way after that. Obviously, people can fantasize about things and they can see other people in a sexual way. and it is something that is not really up to us, that we can't control. But ideally, you would want consent from the person that you are sexualizing in some way, although that is a bit unrealistic, and I understand that. But especially with this type of behavior where you are literally creating content in which Ariana Grande is sexualized, or it looks like she is sexualized, because again, you're not consenting to it, and then all of a sudden other people think that they know you in a sexual way. And yeah, that's very concerning.
Despite the backlash, Paige has maintained in the past that her resemblance to Ariana is purely coincidental. Yeah, right. All the receipts tell another story. Old photos of Paige.
A lot of impersonators claim that everything is just because of chance, and you can't deny that they naturally tend to look like that celebrity, but obviously they are really playing into it. I mean, if we're looking at this natural picture here of Paige, then we can clearly see that without all that makeup and that clothing, that she's not resembling Ariana nearly as much as when she is doing all of that, and she's clearly playing into it.
Show a stark difference from her current Ariana-inspired appearance, heavily aided by filters, makeup, and wardrobe choices. As of now, it's unclear whether Paige is going to return to social media or continue her OF adult content journey, but there's no way in the world that the OF career is more aspiring to Paige. I mean, while I understand like you can make a lot of money in there, she had 10 million followers on TikTok, and she probably had some brand deals going on. I'm not entirely sure what her case was, but 10 million followers is a huge platform, guys. I think the OF part is disgusting that she's doing this portraying Ariana, but I think she's really regretting it now, because I think she really just pushed it all too far, especially this recent Wicked transformation. I mean, why does she look like the blurred version of Ariana Grande here? One person asks, I wish that Paige would say why she does this, and another reiterates that she likes attention, even if it's negative.
I doubt that if you were to ask Paige, she would have a clear-cut answer. Most likely, she will just say, I am not impersonating Ariana, I am just being myself, and I happen to act and look like her. And also, apart from that, it's not just a superficial issue. I mean, clearly you can see that this behavior and this act is going into all the areas of her life, into her personal life, into her romantic life, her occupational life. So that to me really indicates that this is a personality problem rather than just some obsessive compulsive behavior, for example. I do believe that it would benefit her greatly to go to therapy and potentially look at the root causes, why she feels like she needs to take on someone else's identity to be worthy and to be acknowledged. I would be interested in seeing if she has low self-esteem, and if that's the case, where that is coming from, if she has feelings of worthlessness, maybe even some depressive, anxious tendencies. So it would be important to look at that and have some new relationships in her life that confirm that she is worthy of attention and of connection without having to act like Ariana. And she could get that potentially in therapy as well, where as a therapist, you could confirm to her over and over that it is okay, that you will not leave her, that she has a stable presence in her life.
Another person adds, yeah, it's all kind of scary. Imagine being Ariana. This person commented that Paige is terrifying, and watching her behavior play out on TikTok, it is creepy. I mean, it doesn't seem like, you remember like Gabby and Nikki? One of them is a big fan of Ariana Grande. I want to say it's Gabby, but or Nikki, just Nikki. Anyways, you guys will know in the comments below. But she seems like she's a fan of Ariana's, but she has a boundary. Paige likes to push it. Like she wants to get to Ariana and piss off her fan base.
Yeah, this definitely shows that there are some nuances when it comes to impersonation or being a lookalike, right? And it seems like for Paige, this has really become an addiction that has almost taken over her life, where the attention that she gets is reinforcing her behavior. And it seems that it has become more extreme over time, which is also a hallmark of addiction, because in a way become more tolerant towards the effects of the drug or the addictive behavior, which would be impersonating Ariana. So yeah, then I can also see why the boundaries would be so blurred, and she wouldn't really have a regard for Ariana and for Ariana's wishes in this anymore as well, which can feel really intrusive. And unfortunately, people who are experiencing addictions or engage in addictive behaviors, they can have a skewed perception of the world, or in a way their own needs and their own wishes and their own desires can take over, which we can see in substance use disorders as well. So yeah, it might be that Paige is literally at that point where she can't see the effect that she has on other people anymore. I do truly wish her all the best and all the healing. I hope that she's getting help, especially now that she's been taken off of social media. I hope that she will use that moment to realize what is going on. It might be a possibility that she will engage in some new behaviors or that she will exhibit some change, but unfortunately it is quite likely that she will continue with this type of behavior if she can, because it is really quite difficult to get rid of all these behaviors and these routines. She's been doing it for years at this point, which means that it is getting more and more difficult to not engage in those behaviors, especially if they have given her something, which is that attention and to some extent that validation that she might be deeply looking for. All right, everyone, I will stop the video right here. Please let me know what you thought about it. If you have any thoughts about Paige Niemann and celebrity impersonators, I would be very interested in having a discussion about it. Otherwise, if you found this video interesting or insightful, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Take care.